Hey everyone, welcome back to Golden Papery, and I am so excited to share with you that I finally was able to get my Infinite Lotus planner inserts, and so I'm just going to do a quick little unboxing, which I'll be honest with you, this came in last weekend, and so I just quickly did a video because I definitely wanted to take the weekend to set up my planner, and so I just recorded this really quick so that I can finally show with you guys also the planner inserts in the planner that I purchased from the Aesthetic Dollar. So this is what my package includes. I ended up getting the basically the starter package that they have on their website, and it included a lot of the planner inserts that are pretty common, like the passwords, the weekly, a daily. um, I don't know why I also expected that the planner inserts would be like more, like it was going to be a big pack, but there are only 5 sheets of each category. So this is the starter pack that I'm showing you all right now, but it has a whole bunch of planner inserts, and I truly feel that if you are just getting started with A5 planning, or even just a planner like a ring planner, you can go to their website, purchase this starter, and it would be a great way to see like what are the inserts that you would be commonly using, or what are more productive in your own day-to-day routine. And so this is what I have. This includes the daily plan, the contacts. I have a project, notes, passwords, and then also the weekly. I'm going to just reorganize this a little bit here, but I have the weekly. This one is the gratitude, and then this is kind of like a little task planner. But oh, and it also came with the goal planner, habit tracking, and these are all the ones that are included in the starter inserts pack. So this is what, one, two, so 10 different planner inserts for that starter pack. And then I also purchased this, bookmark that says this week, because I knew that that was something that I needed. And then I also purchased the appointments sticky notes or post-it notes. And then these are just some of the cards that I came with for the package. But this is everything that I got. So this is the Aesthetic Dollar planner that I purchased, and I just think it's so beautiful. It's, I ended up adding the acrylic dashboard in front, which that I purchased from Christina Loves Planning, and also the acrylic bookmark. So that is just the way that I had it in my other planner, which I'm still using. That the other planner that I have, it's a personal size also, that is still my cash binder. And this one is going to be just my home day-to-day mom planner. So I mentioned to you on, if you look at my video last week, you'll see that I have fully converted my acrylic A5 planner for just work. And that is, that is on purpose. I knew that work has become a little bit more hectic, and I say that in a good way. I've been getting a lot more responsibilities, and people are starting to see me as a leader, and it looks like I may even be, on the lead team in the next year or so, probably less to be honest. And I'm just trying to really organize my work planner that is going to be completely separate from home planning. And you all know from sharing my experience with my family, my son especially, he has a lot of different appointments that I have to monitor. He's got therapy, I have to talk to different doctors, I have to take notes for those doctor visits, and that is why I decided to go with a combination of Infinite Lotus planner inserts, cloth and paper planner inserts and just some other accessories from different planning shops. But again, and apologies for the sun here. I did this, like I said, I got my package and I immediately took the video of the unboxing so I can share with you all. And I'm here at my desk at sundown trying to get this in so that I can work on the organization over the weekend. But I truly love this planner. The color is beautiful. I still don't know how I'm going to organize it, but I know that this is something that I definitely need. I still have other tools that I use for my family. In fact, I designed an app that is a family organizer that only my family is able to access, and it has way more things, right? And that is just because I segregate some of the tasks to my husband. He supports me in a lot of the, appointment or school stuff that we have to do, especially these last couple of weeks that it's like, school is ending. We started the swim team for my daughter. And so it is becoming very hectic. Okay, welcome back. We are going to do May week 3 reset. And apologies if there are echo in the previous unboxing. I didn't realize that my microphone setting was set to that. So now I'm going to try to minimize that. But this week, I am sharing with you all my work planner. This is on the A5 acrylic planner dashboard that I got from the Aesthetic Dollar. And I have been loving this layout. I'm using the weekly admin inserts by Cloth and Paper. And then I'm using kind of like the same tools that are from Casa Vici with the page flags, and then I add in different appointments or different tasks, and I've been using that pretty consistently. For this week, I do have several meetings, and I was able to get that in there on my planner before I made this video. And I'm also doing this during my lunch period, and I'm still having people message me. So, you'll see me type things out and things like that. But I have been in charge of a new AI Power BI kind of project, and it's very hard to explain if you're not in the tech world, but it has been consuming my weeks and everything is moving so fast, and I'm trying to keep up, and I'm trying to also teach and educate our CTO and different people in our company on the access and security levels, and it is a lot. And so somehow I became like just the analytics engineer, but also now the expert with a lot of these things. And as much as it is scary, I'm also excited that, people are seeing me in a different light with, leadership capabilities. And yeah, that has been pretty exciting for the past couple of weeks. Now, I will say that there are definitely a lot of home and family things happening. I think I mentioned in my last video that I also decided to start therapy, and that is just because I was experiencing a lot of caregiver burnout. And yeah, I'm just trying to navigate work and home life in a balanced way so that I don't burn myself out at work and I don't burn myself out at home. But I will say that the planners that I have been so helpful. I Not only does it bring me joy, right? Because I love using these tools. I love writing things down. I love going back to my planner and checking in to see like what I did and what I completed. And I think something that my therapist also mentioned in our last session was, at the end of the week, just jot down like 5 ways that you were able to, successfully complete some of your projects, or like 5 positive things that you were able to do at work, but also like 5 positive things that you have, shown up for your kids and family. And that has really navigated my outlook as an individual, not only because I feel like sometimes I'm just an employee or sometimes I'm just a caregiver, but I think it's hard to just go back and see like what are the things that I was able to accomplish. So that is definitely things that I'll be working on. But for my A5 planner, I it's been kind of busy, so I have not been using my Jira planner inserts or the Fresh Desk. And also, we were moving away from Jira, so we moved over to a SharePoint project list. But then also for Fresh Desk, I haven't really gotten any new tickets, which is amazing. The same way that I can just close things out, I'm just going to do that, right? Like, I have not gotten any tickets, and knock on wood, I hope I don't get any new tickets. But I think I'm going to do this new method where I just add in meetings as they come. So I'm going to try to plan ahead now that I just have this work planner, and then close out the different inserts that I have in the other sections. But I did show last week that this work planner has different sections as far as like projects, my goals, even the systems that I use, Freshdesk and Jira, and then just kind of like an inbox. There are a lot of times where people will email me about an issue or send me a Teams message, and it can definitely get lost through all the things that are happening at work. And so I've been using this as a good way to just, hey, make sure you close this out. Make sure you go ahead and look back at this issue so that you don't forget. Anyway, um, for the personal planner, this is what I have, and I shared with you all the unboxing, and this is what I kind of set up as a, starter routine that I have for this planner. I mentioned to you all that this planner comes from the Aesthetic Dollar, and it's in the personal size, or I think she has the like A6, but it's a personal size planner. And then the dashboard also comes from that. A lot of these stickers and sticky notes come from different shops on Etsy. And one of my other favorite ones is Poi and Hun. So I also have that. And then I just kind of went back and reorganized some of the things that I already had. Like my dividers are from Filofax. I purchased that, probably 3 years ago. I ended up getting a yearly dashboard, and then actually I went back and ordered the weekly admin inserts for the personal planner, and it's also by Cloth and Paper. I just love the layout and how it works, and I did try out the Infinite Lotus ones, but truthfully I enjoy the Cloth and Paper version. That doesn't mean that I won't use the other ones. I probably, when I finish my inserts, I'll go back and try something different. But I also purchased the monthly pack because it's on sale, considering that we're like halfway through the year. Well, I say halfway, but so it was already on sale. I put in the monthly planner inserts, and then I'm gonna just go in here and just jot down all the things that are happening in May. I know we're already at the end of May, so this is kind of like pointless, but I still want to go back and just jot down what we had this month, doctor's appointments. I also had some personal appointments, like I have a wax coming up, and it's just a good way to go back. I think I need to color code this, so I only chose my purple mild liner here, but I probably will start categorizing the way I used to in my Hobonichi planner, and the what else? There was like a little weekly planner that I used in my bag for a while, and I would categorize monthly stuff or the monthly calendar by family member. So one color for my daughter, one color for my son, and then I was able to quickly see like, okay, I have to do this or I have to prepare this. So it's been good. And then I think I'm also going to go back in and add stickers. That is something that I have not done with this planner, and it's not really something that you need to do, but I have so many stickers still in my little planner box, and I have been trying to utilize everything that I have so that I don't have to buy new things. There were a lot of personal planner inserts that I already had in my inventory for other occasions. Like I have a Bible study planner insert, I have scripture analysis, and even the appointments. But a lot of the starter pack came with a really good set of the planner inserts that I needed, so I'm just gonna use that. But probably once they finish, I'll just go ahead and go back and reprint some of the ones that I have already used in the past, or some that I can just design on my own. And I will say that I know the dividers don't really go with the look of the brown planner, but it's just temporary, and you know what? A little color didn't hurt anyone. So I was thinking about that too, because I'm like, how this is blue and I'm using it with my, brown planner. It doesn't really look all that great, but it works, and I didn't have to go back and purchase new dividers, which is always a good thing. Also, I have never been a fan of like the clear dividers. I don't know why. I just feel like they always get dirty. They always get like scuffed up. And so if I do end up purchasing dividers, either, well, I'll probably make some or just purchase some that are like black or just, like a one color. But these aren't bad, and these are from Filofax. So I used them for my Filofax planner a while back, and so it worked fine. Now, I know that maybe some of y'all will be like, how does like now that you have so many planners, like, I always wonder about that with people too. Like, how do you truly organize yourself with the multiple planners? But I will say one thing. My work planner stays on my desk. I don't move it anywhere. If I'm on a meeting, if I need to jot down any notes, if I need to email someone, this literally stays on my desk. For the cash binder, I will take it in my bag if I know I need to make purchases with my cash. This personal planner stays in my bag all the time. There are times where I take it out, I'm on the island, and I'm just kind of like updating things, or for example, this week I was working on a grocery list and I was just adding things in there. And that's been pretty routine for the past week. I want to say that I was able to get this planner set up. Usually my process before this was having like my phone and setting reminders. I have a Google Pixel, so I've been adding like little notes. And it was just like a brain dump list. Everything was in one place and it was good. But I will say one thing. There were many field trips that I totally forgot. I almost forgot, the lunch, the meal prep lunch that I needed to do for my daughter this morning, which is not good because then she wouldn't have eaten anything at school. But that is the reason why I need just one place to kind of set on my reminders as a parent, as a mom. And then anything that I need to add onto the family organizer app, that will get added. I will also say that the Google Calendar is still my priority. That is where I add everything first. Google Calendar is shared with my husband and part of my family. And so they also have access to see like the appointments that we have going on. But if I get a phone call, I get, a new appointment scheduled, everything goes in Google Calendar first, always. If I have to add notes, it is Google Calendar. That is just because that is my one-stop shop. And then everything gets transferred over to my personal planner. So this is my daily that is also from Infinite Lotus, and I haven't used it all too much, but this is the weekly admin insert that I got from Cloth and Paper. And I do love how easy and quick it just looks. And I'm using kind of the same method with my work planner. Highlight, and then I write down what's going on. And then I will say that the stickers that I am using, they're icons because obviously it's a smaller planner, but you know, you can still use stickers. It's not like you don't have the space. And then I have a lot of these labels that I can use, which I haven't used it, but I will. I will also say that I am using the task card planning method as well. So I may, you know, put in some page flags like for appointments or even payday or do laundry. But remember, all of this planner has all of those things. You'll see that the first section will be just the weekly and daily schedule. It is just schedule. And then the second divider that I have will include my cleaning. Yeah, my weekly cleaning. And this is where I did go over and add in just kind of like a quick little schedule for the week. I don't think I will do this all the time, but you know, this week I do have family coming over, and it was a good little reminder of all the things I needed to get done as we go through the week before they get here. So loved it. It was a good insert to use as a reminder. And then I will also say that cloth and paper has more options for different layouts. And so I would also recommend that you check that out if you're interested. But I'm also including my habit trackers. The third divider will be appointments and doctor visits, or the planning inserts for both of those. So I did use the Infinite Lotus insert for the appointments. And then when I go over to my son's appointments, I'll just make doctor notes so that I know what's going on. Um, Fourth divider will be personal, like my reading list. And then my fifth includes projects and goal planning. And then the last divider, as always, is my inbox and my notes. So, yeah, this is great. I love the way it looks. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. What would you change if this was your planner? And I'm excited to use this, and I will probably let y'all know what has been working, what has not been working in this new layout for me, but it's beautiful and I can't wait to still use it. And I do have appointments coming up, so it'll be a great way to kind of pressure test if the full home family planner is working or not. So that is it for this week, y'all. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see y'all next week. Bye.